All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to a high-speed challenge designed to see if you're really ready for the board exam. The pressure is on. So you think sanitation and plumbing design is the easy part of the exam? Think again. Let me tell you, this is exactly where so many examinees get tripped up. On the board exam, you just don't have time to second-guess yourself. And that's what we're doing today. You get exactly 5 seconds for each question. That's it. So do you think you can handle the pressure? Let's find out. Okay, let's dive into this. First up, we are hitting septic systems hard and fast. These are the fundamentals, people, so there are no excuses here. Let's see what you've got. Get ready. Question 1. What's the required airspace for a septic tank? You've got 5 seconds on the clock. Go. Time's up. The answer is D, 300 millimeters. And look, that's not just some random number. It's a standard code requirement. You need that space for scum accumulation and for the gases produced during digestion. It's critical. Next question. What is the retention period for suspended matters to settle and stabilize in that tank? 5 seconds. Lock in your answer. Okay, if you picked A, 24 hours, you are absolutely correct. And this is so important. It's the minimum time needed for that anaerobic digestion to really kick off. Any less and the system just isn't treating the waste properly. Let's keep that pressure on. The inlet invert versus the outlet invert, what's the minimum height difference? You have 5 seconds. And that's time. The correct answer is C, 75 millimeters. This is such a simple but absolutely vital design feature. It's what stops sludge and scum from flowing right out and clogging up the whole system. Last question in the sprint. You've got a really long septic tank compartment. What extra thing does it need? 5 seconds, let's go. The answer is A, an additional manhole. See, this isn't about some complex theory. It's just a practical code requirement. For a tank that long, you simply have to have proper access for maintenance. Simple as that. Great job on the septic systems, but don't you dare get comfortable. We are moving on to fire protection, where the stakes are literally life and death. Welcome to the trial by fire. First up in the trial, wet standpipes. How much hose length do you need to account for to ensure full coverage? 5 seconds on the clock. The code specifies D, 23 meters. This is a make or break calculation that ensures a firefighter can reach every single corner of that building from the standpipe. No room for error here. Okay, next up, dry standpipes. What's the minimum diameter for a building up to 23 meters high? Think about the code standards. You have 5 seconds. The correct answer is A, 102 millimeters. You should immediately recognize that as 4 inches. It's the standard minimum size to guarantee enough water flow when the fire department hooks up. Oh yeah, a classic board exam question. You see an electrical fire from a short circuit. Which extinguisher do you grab? 5 seconds. Fantastic work. You made it through the trial by fire. But now it's time for the final and biggest section, the water gauntlet. This covers everything from treatment to fixtures. Stay sharp and don't let up now. First question in the gauntlet. We're talking about a powerful oxidation process used in cooling towers. What is it? You've got 5 seconds. The answer is de-ozonation. Here's the key difference you need to know. Aeration uses oxygen from the air, but ozonation injects ozone, which is a way more powerful oxidizer. That makes it super effective for disinfection in applications like this. Next up, water supply systems. You have a source, a pipe network, and taps in every house. What level is that? 5 seconds. Go. That's right, it's C, level 3. This is the definition of a full-blown reticulated water supply system. You gotta remember, level 1 is just a simple well, and level 2 is a communal faucet. Know the difference. What causes that nasty taste and smell in water sometimes? You have 5 seconds to tell me. The answer is C, dissolved oxygen. Now there's the science bit. Sure, oxygen is essential, but when it interacts with organic matter and certain minerals, it can create the compounds that give you those less than pleasant aesthetic issues. Okay, this is a bread and butter plumbing question. The minimum drain size for a toilet. 5 seconds, you have to know this one. Of course, it's C, 3 inches. This is totally non-negotiable in pretty much every plumbing code. You need that size to make sure solids are carried away without causing a nasty blockage. Let's move to another common fixture. How about a shower stall? What's the minimum drain size there? 5 seconds on the clock. The answer is B, 2 inches. And this just makes sense, right? A toilet needs 3 inches to handle solids, but a shower is just handling water, so a 2-inch drain is perfectly fine for the flow rate required by the code. Time for a little material science. What exactly is in a 95.5 solder? Think about modern lead-free standards. 5 seconds. The correct answer is D, 95% tin and 5% antimony. This is a very common, very effective lead-free solder for joining copper pipes in our drinking water systems. The key takeaway here is to know your lead-free composition's code for the exam. Back to water closets. How much water per flush according to today's standards? You have 5 seconds. The answer is B, 0.75 to 2 gallons. This shows that huge shift toward high-efficiency toilets. Those old 3 to 5 gallon monsters are a thing of the past. You absolutely need to know the new standard. All right, last question of the gauntlet. Which of these backflow valves is known for being a poor performer? This can be a tricky one, a classic board exam trap. 5 seconds. The correct answer is C, the unbalanced valve. And why is it a trap? Because you have to remember that unbalanced valves are way more prone to failure and water hammer, which makes them a really poor choice for reliable backflow prevention. And that's it, you're through. You survived the sprint, the trial, and the gauntlet. That was intense, I know, but that is exactly the pace you need on exam day. If you can keep that energy and focus up during your review, you are going to be absolutely unstoppable. But I want to leave you with one last thought. Memorizing the code is one thing. Knowing the answer is C, 75 millimeters, is great. But the real test, the real exam, is when you're on site, the pressure's on, the client's watching, and you have to apply that knowledge to solve a real-world problem. That's the difference between just passing an exam and becoming a great professional. And that's what you should be striving for.